Alright, welcome everyone to the Corvinus KT guide, the Corvinus 2TC. We're gonna call it Corvinus right now from today on. So everyone sees this, just call it the Corvinus guide. Here, what is the difference between any other like Crackedy or Beastie guide or blah 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 blah? The difference is huge because we age up only with 14 villager. All of those people with their guides, they are aging up with 15 villager. But not here, not today. We are aging up with 14 and we're gonna have a really good time on our second TC. Now you either build it on your gold or the deer pack that you have close by. But if you have those deers like so far away from your villagers, I would not advise you to build the second TC on them unless you're really devastated with your food economy or your food reserves at your own base. Now, stop the yapping. Let's see what happens and why is it so different compared to KW or Omega Lul guides. The difference is I have 7 on food, 2 on gold, and now I'm sending villagers slowly to the wood left and right. You can see left and right. Actually, I'm doing that. After that, I'm sending to another villager to the far right, and I'm gonna send these 2 gold villager back to the strategize. If this 2 villager was close to a stone, I would rather send them to stone, but because the stone is so far away, I do not wish to see them run a marathon. We don't need to run a marathon. If my opponent is Dark Age rushing me, I just gonna age up super fast. Like even put 9 villager on food and 2 villager on gold. And as soon as I can age up, just age up immediately, pick the Knight Hospitaler and make an archer. So I got a Mongo Tower Rush, which I denied very, very easily. Like you don't even need more than 2 brain cells to do so. Because I aged up like 3 minutes 20 or 30 or something like that when my age up finished, and I dropped an archer range because during the age up I was mass gathering wood so I can drop an archer range and after that focus on the second TC when I aged up. Do that only if you are getting tower rushed. If you are not getting tower rushed, just follow these easy steps. So far all you're gonna see that we will have 7 villager on stone and 7 villager on wood. 7 villager on wood, 7 villager on stone. Very easy to follow, right? You put 7 villager on wood, 7 villager on stone. I was playing against Malian, and you need to know, Knights, Knight Templar, like, crazily counters Malian. Malian has like 30 or 20% chance to win this matchup. Very small amount of chance to win this matchup. Well, is because of the heavy spearman that the Malian doesn't have a single crossbowman. So I aged up, and as you can see, look at that age up. I mean, second TC timing. It's a very crazy second TC timing. It's insane. I'm gonna have my second TC up so fast that no one would believe me if I told them how fast I built in my second TC up. They're gonna be like, "Ah, you're just bluffing. There's no way your second TC finishes before the 5th minute mark, right?" Oh no. Oh no. 40, 50, 51, 52, 54, 55, 56, 55, 56. Between that, the second TC is finished and there was no way to counter it. Now I'm sending a few amount of villagers because I'm playing Heal and Dale, so it's very easy to wall, and I decided. But since this map is very easy to wall, I have deer, stone, and berries on the right, then just let's wall it immediately. If maybe our opponent will do some aggression here, so at least he cannot raid from this side. And I will vote this as well because there is a boar and I need that boar. That would be a 2400 food for me and very fast getter rate as well, so we do really need that boar. I built a barracks just in case I need to protect this villager, just in case if he gonna make a sofa or he gonna get his scout into warrior scout, which not really happened. He went with an archer range to counter out my spearman, and I was happy about that. 2TC is kicking like harder than a horse kicking you in a bad day. Well, that's always a bad day anyway. So focusing my resources to get to the castle age to get my heavy spearman and also archer, where actually I'm just gonna mess archers non-stop with heavy spearman, since as I mentioned before, my opponent doesn't have crossbow. If you don't have crossbow, well, that's really bad for you. I really don't care. Yeah, that's your fault, not having crossbow. Not my fault. I'm walling here. Also, I will send another villager. These wolves, so annoying. You can see, run, villager. The wolf is chasing you. The fully walling the left side as well. My middle is a little bit open, but I was like, okay, I see everything with the tower, so that's perfectly fine. And aging up into the Angevin Empire, since I'm playing with against Malian, but I have tried. So I have tried the other age ups. Let me tell you that I was playing against a 2k or 2.1k Mongol player, and I aged up with the what's the name of it? Kingdom of Castile, and it was really good because the sacred sites had a really good position on the map. So I would not age up into this unless the sacred site's in a really good position, right? Or I go engine empire whenever my opponent doesn't have like a crazy strong crossbow. Like, you can't really age up with that into French because French crossbow is insanely brutal, or Jeanne d'Arc or French crossbows are crazy strong, and then you are just better to go with normal spearman with maybe Castle is fine against like a French to snipe out the range units. Like you do normal spearman, horseman, and Castile. So what happened in that Mongol game is that we were fighting non-stop around the second side. I managed to always push this Mongol player to fight around the second side, and he had Krutai. Now, the Kingdom of Castile is literally the same thing as the Krutai, but the only thing better for me that I went with Hospitaler, so I regenerate health better with the Hospitaler age up. So my HP regeneration was a little bit better than the Krutai was giving. So as I mentioned before, I'm aging up with the heavy spear, making heavy spear, and gonna make archers. So this is my composition: heavy spear archers, and that will be enough to actually counter out my enemy and have no problem at all to win my games. Like it's one of the most easiest matchup for Katie. Like, you don't need to be insanely smart to do this. So now we are just focusing on to collect the relics. Heavy speed archer, heavy speed archer. If needed, you can add a few horsemen, but it's not like necessary. Yeah, sending a few villagers to stone as well, because you need to secure more resources on the map. Because on this map you have 1 gold at your own hill, and you go down the dale and you build keeps on the large gold. Well, I saw that there is a large gold in front of him. I was like, all right, we're gonna focus that. We're gonna focus that. I'm gonna search for his pit mines, and we're gonna destroy that later. But first, let's capture his large gold. With the keep. Meanwhile, I keep making units, as you see. Grabbing my ranged armor because he's gonna make archers, and to counter out the archer damage, you need ranged armor. So that's what I did. Getting to 6 ranged armor on the heavy spearman. Countering out his cavalry, and still keep making heavy spearman with archer. Look at that. Doing those units up non-stop. Just non-stop. Ooh, melting down the sofa and some warrior scout? Yeah, veteran warrior scout. He has some archers. He's getting the plus range damage, as you can see. He has already plus 1 range damage, so he does 8, 6. And after that, he's gonna have 9 to 6. So destroying all these houses and pit mine, and he has to come outside to protect it. Because if he doesn't, then I'm just gonna destroy everything. And you can see my economy is not really bad at all. Look at the economical difference, right? I was on 2TC, he did a cow boom. His idea was to put another TC as well, himself as well, later on. But now he was focusing to protect these pit mines, because these pit mines are generating a good amount of gold. I think 140 gold per minute. So it is very important to protect. Also, he has the houses around it, so it's very, very important to protect it. Meanwhile, I have a really good food economy. Still have sheep. Still have the first berry, second berry, deer berry. So I have instant amount of food. I'm still on board as well, so I don't need to transition into farms yet, because I can get all the food around my base, like good amount of food. And also I have a barrier on the front as well, and on the right I can easily protect. So he comes in and he will face with the sad truth is that his archers will not really do anything. Even if he got poison archer upgrade, those archers still not doing so much against the heavy spearman. Meanwhile, I have archers and I'm sniping down his Musafadi and also sniping down his archers with my own archers. So as you can see, he's losing his army non-stop. He already lost so much resources, 2,000, almost 3,000 resources, 3,000 to 460 resources. I almost didn't lose a single unit, but he keeps spamming them. He keeps making those units. But you can see it's not really easy when you are playing as the Malian. And at the end, he surrenders. I capture 4 relics, capturing sacrifice, building keeps, and it's really hard to do or deal with it with the Malian. So that's it. My 2TC KT build into whatever you need to do into like castle. Let's say a heavy spearman is really good against Delhi. If you don't need to do anything more than just protecting yourself, and you're gonna be perfectly fine after that, because in castle your food generation per gathering wood is so crazy strong that all the time you wish to reach castle to have a really good passive food income by gathering wood. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy this 2TC KT video, and even if you play against French, just make spearman archer or spearman horseman. If the French player is making spearman, just add 1 or 2 archer range and snipe out his spearman. But don't be greedy. You don't need to run out. You can run out with a few of your horsemen to do some raids, but do not lose those horsemen, because you can bring them back and heal up with the Knight Hospitaller. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on the KT.